Hello, everyone. This is Silk, and oh gosh, it's been probably an hour that I've been staring at this map. And it occurred to me that if I'm going to do that, I might as well go ahead and make a quick video for everyone, kind of chatting about what happened here in Operation Thunderball Turn 12, kind of give a little bit of a recap for it, of sort of what happened, what I think everybody's up to, kind of some insights into strategic decisions that folks are making, and just kind of give a nice little wrap up for stuff. Um, as far as technology, there was one kind of major development was again the U.S.'s failure to get their large ships done. Um, just a real problem for them. Japan's going to score Kido Butai next turn, and the Americans may not ever get it back. So, and if they don't get this completed, they really are never going to get it back. So we'll see how that goes. But that was kind of the one big development there. Other than that, Russia did get. Oh, I think he got a little closer here on his victory point tech. Was probably the other key thing. Is he does have rockets at 3, so that one's at least almost done. But he still got to get 2 more on jet fighters, and we're on turn 13. They're running out of time. Like game end starts here on turn 17, so he's got 5 turns left to get these 3 techs completed, which is not an easy task when it's 2 8s and a 9. So we'll see how the Soviets steer there. German tech programs just kind of rolling along. Brits are probably pretty happy with what they got. They'd certainly like to finish the improved factories, I think, but overall, no real big major shakeup in the tech other than the U.S. failure to get large ship. I do think that's, although to be fair, the advantage for the U.S. they are very close to getting their tech supremacy done. The 2 hardest ones are already completed. They've got both jet fighters and long-range aircraft at stage 3. They could have this completed next turn, and very likely we're going to have it done by turn 17. So U.S. or allies are very much, I expect, are going to score that point there. As for the cash totals, one minor update, which was really all on me. I just had not collected for Japan when I took the Australian province there, so I went ahead and collected that. And when Hambone rolled his convoy rating on me, there was he is +2 native for his subs, so there was 2 incidents where he actually did a damage each. So Japan did gain $1 because of my math keeping error here, but they lost 2 because of the convoy rating. So minor adjustment there. As for what happened in the turn, by far this is the big update here in Spain. Absolutely love this move by the Allies. The Panzer J's rolls in Spain to get recruitment were just awful. I think he might have only succeeded 1 time out of 7 rolls, maybe. Guessing maybe 8. A whole lot. Just real bad luck for him in that regard. Made Spain just really weak. Not difficult for a combined attack. I think the air attack and sea attack coming in was beautiful. Everything's all set to go. You notice though that the transport did get sunk. It's about the only bad bit there. British didn't even lose a fighter to the air superiority. Like just everything went for them real well. And as an allied player, I really like this move. This is kind of one of my favorite things conceptually. I think opening up a second border into Germany is a really good way to do things and create a problem. Yeah, it just creates a problem. It creates a whole new front that the Germans have to try to defend along. Aquitaine is part of the Atlantic Wall, so if at any point this falls, the other German point is going to go away. So Germany scored the point for Madrid, but has now lost it because they don't have Madrid anymore. So that victory point's gone. And if they lose Aquitaine, they lose the Atlantic Wall. So this is kind of a really good way to attack that. Panzer J is going to have some responses, though. He's got plenty of units up here to move around and create a big fight here. These guys can slide down. He's got artillery to move over. He has rail actions. He's got airborne. Germany is not on the ropes by any stretch yet, but she's gonna have to spend some time, money, resources, kind of all of it to now deal with this front that's been opened. And in the meantime, that's going to make life a little easier on Russia, which Russia needs it. And as we flash over here, this is a really bad spot for Russia. I'm going to go ahead and grab these guys, bring them a little closer into view so y'all can get a feel for what the Soviets are really dealing with here. It is pretty scary. Yeah, these cavalry might not be. But all of these mechanized and the armor to drive them forward certainly are. So this 86th is 6 mediums, 6 lights, and 8, 10 mechs. So that could all blitz. He can blitz into Kursk and then move into Eastern Ukraine. He can blitz Kursk and then Smolensk and take both of those. He can blitz across to Donetsk, although probably not. I don't think he wants to deal with a counterattack from both here and Moscow, so he probably isn't going to go to Donetsk. But so many choices. He can blitz through all of Kursk and come down here to Eastern Ukraine and force an easy surround on Kiev, which Kiev's in trouble. Like this medium bomber that suddenly appeared from the Italians, that very easily just kind of slides over here, bombs this airfield, and suddenly Kiev is going to be eligible for being surrounded. And at that point, all these guys just get cut off and killed pretty quick by the 84th. Like that's not a huge army, but it's probably enough to deal with these guys. The fortification will give them a +2 for 1 turn, but that's offset by the -1 for being surrounded. And then the second turn on, those militia are at 1s and the infantry at 3s, and there's only 7 guys there in an AA. Just won't last long, I don't think. And again, Panzer J's got fighters, he's got airborne, he's got more than enough stuff. And the airborne, they can go anywhere they want. They may go to Smolensk, they might go to Kursk, they might go to Donetsk, they might go ahead and come into here and fight to clear that fortification out of Crimea there. Just all sorts of choices. Soviets are pushing down here from the north, I see just a little bit. So we'll see if how Panzer decides to deal with that. Like maybe that's where these mechs are going to go, but I imagine he really wants these mechs in Earl Kursk, I bet. Or in Smolensk. He probably wants them in one or the other. So that he can, I kind of imagine that he's going to try to just kind of do a sweep right here and just claim all this territory and money for Germany, and especially Kursk. The Soviets losing Kursk is a real big problem. If he can take Kursk and hold it, he'll be able to use that as a factory to build out of. And now he's got a factory on the front and a force that's directly threatening Moscow and Stalingrad. The Germans want 3 cities, so he either wants these 3 here, he wants these 3 here, or these 3 here. He's going to do some combination of those over the next few turns to try to score those two points for Germany. But he's got to deal with at least a little bit this force up here. So we'll see what he ends up coming up with. I'm sure Panzer J's got some thoughts and his work cut out for him as he's figuring out how to solve this problem with the new Allied one. But they've got money. This is the mid game where you kind of expand out as best you can before the collapse begins. But I think that's what's going to be coming for y'all. As for Japan, this is my nation here. We went ahead and slipped down here and grabbed Queensland and snagged whatever that is, Dutch New Guinea. Yeah, snagged Dutch New Guinea. Finished off what we needed to finish off in India there. So most of our core stuff is kind of completed. Big news is definitely these battleships. So these battleships drop. I now have 7 capital ships to his 6. That triggers Keto Batai. I'm going to have -1 on all of my capital ships until for some reason I don't. And that is going to put just even more pressure on the American Navy going forward. Got a few ideas here. We're going to have to see a little bit of what the Soviets do to be up here. I think I'm a little concerned about this transport plane, what he's got lying there. But other than that, I think the peace seems to be holding pretty well between the Soviets and the Russians. We'll see how much longer Bruce wants to maintain that. We've got the kind of last holdouts of the FEC here hanging out in Kashmir. But we've got some armor. We've got some plans for how we might deal with them. Raiding all over Japan, but fortunately for me, the dice were just not with Hambone there. And I only took 2 damage off of 4 raiding dice. That was pretty low. He should have had a better average than that. And so we're gonna do a little sub hunting, I imagine, there. And I'm not entirely sure where my fleet's gonna go. That's what I've been spending time thinking. We're kind of threatening a little bit here if we want to. Down in Sydney, we have this giant American fleet we got to deal with off of dear old Midway there. He's certainly got a pretty huge force that he's building. So that's a problem. But this is kind of your Japanese American standoff. We'll see what comes up. But these 3 battleships coming off the line last turn are definitely going to help. I think that's about it, really. Like, Africa's pretty quiet. I don't anticipate... We may have a situation where Italy doesn't actually ever go to war here. I'm kind of with Panzer J on that at this point. Certainly, he's got enough fleet coming down that if he wants to, he can mess with the Brits. But so long as the Brits keep a sufficiently high enough force, they'll keep the Italians at bay. So it'll be kind of a weird little standoff thing of Italy. So I think Africa is going to be pretty quiet, unless it gets hotter for some reason. We'll see what happens there. And there's still a pretty big army force here in England. We'll see how if they do decide to come across the line for the Atlantic Wall. But I anticipate a lot of cases what you're going to see now is going to be these pushes into Aquitaine and maybe some probing attacks of some sort to try to stress the Germans here on the coast. I think that's about all I got. If anybody has any questions or whatnot, current score for 12, I think, is 11 for the Axis. 6, I would score a key to battalion at this point. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Axis are at 11. Should be currently the winning score. Allies are at 2, 3, 4, and then 3. Allies, I think, are at 7. Is my current quick guess here. But you may see them score some more. They got some points. As Russia gets weaker, the Allies are going to get triumph capitalism. There's a possibility here. That's going to shift things. Triumph capitalism is the Atlantic Wall are by far my 2 favorite victory objectives. You're going to see those really kind of have an ebb and flow as you see various games go along there. I may talk about those in a video at some point here. But that's it. If everybody has any questions, just post them in the chat. We'll kind of hang out, and I'll get back to you later this week with Japan 13 once it gets around to me. Everybody have a great day.